Okay, we can get going. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Winnetka Village Council regular meeting for December 1st, 2020. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that everybody mute your cell phones or other electronic devices. And also, if you could mute your microphone when you're not speaking to improve the sound quality of the meeting. Rob, can you do a roll call for attendance, please?
Certainly. Trustee Apatow,
Here.
Trustee Dearborn,
Here.
Trustee Coladarchi,
Here.
Trustee Kripe,
Here.
Trustee Lampier,
Here.
Trustee Swerk,
Here.
President Rins.
Here. All right, next order of business is Trustee Lampier will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the
and to the
republic
republic,
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thanks, Penny. All right, item 3, quorum check.
Okay, next two meetings in December, the 8th and the 15th. Do those dates look good to everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, and then January 5th is the first meeting of the new year.
God,
All looking all right? Okay, thank you. Let me know if there's any scheduling conflicts.
I sure will. All right, item 4, public comment. This is the time of the evening where members of the community or otherwise can address council on any item that is not on the agenda. Kristen, do you have any public comment this evening on items that are not on the agenda?
President Rents, we received no public comment in advance of the meeting, and there are no members of the public in attendance in the Zoom meeting.
Awesome. Well, I will then close public comment. I'll be coming back for comment during the public hearing later on this evening. All right, we'll move on to number 5, reports. Does any trustee have a report that they would like to give this evening? Bob is raising his hand.
Chris, I would just like to commend the village. This is not really a report, but if people have driven through the village at night with the lights on, the holiday lights, they look fantastic. I can't wait for a snowstorm. It's going to be awesome. So I really think whatever we did this year, Rob, I think it looks terrific.
Thank you. I'll let everybody know.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
And the wreaths are really nice as well. It looks good. It looks really great.
Beautiful. And if I can add, I think a lot of it has to do with the newer areas that we redid, consistent street lighting, spacing, and consistent trees. It really does help, but it does look great. Thanks, Bob.
Really spiffy. I agree, Bob. And I received a text from a resident who said that the Chestnut Street reminded her of a Hallmark movie, which was probably, I'll take that as a compliment. So we're getting there. That's all I can say.
That's a compliment.
Yes, it is. All right. Anybody else have a report? Not seeing any. I'll move on to village manager. Rob, do you have a report today?
No report this evening. Thank you.
And Peter, anything that you'd like to offer up this evening?
No report tonight, thanks.
Nothing from the village attorney. Okay. And nothing from me. So we can move forward with the approval of the agenda. Does any trustee wish to remove an item on the consent agenda for a separate vote? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the final form of the agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Trustee Coladarchi,
Yes.
Trustee Lampier,
Yes.
Trustee Kripe,
Yes.
Trustee Swerk,
Yes.
Trustee Dearborn,
Yes.
Trustee Apatow.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 7, consent agenda. I will ask the village clerk to read the items on the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. Approval of village council minutes for November 10th, 2020 virtual study session and November 17th regular virtual meeting. Approval of the warrant list dated November 13th through the 25th, 2020, in the amount of $1,015,502.06. Village Council meeting schedule for 2021. Resolution number R73, 2020, purchase of a new server for adoption. Resolution number R74, 2020, installation of switchgear and breaker equipment for the Northfield Substation Transformer Project, also for adoption. And resolution number R75, 2020, emergency pump repair at the electric plant.
Great, thank you, Rob. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda by omnibus vote?
Moved.
Second.
Second,
Roll call vote?
Trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Caladarchi,
Yes.
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Dearborn,
yes.
trustee Apatow,
Yes.
trustee Lampier.
Yes.
That motion carries, and we'll move on. Item 8, ordinances and resolutions. We've got a lot of work and a lot of resoluting to do tonight, so I'll get going on that. First off is public hearing for fiscal year 2021 village budget. A public hearing on the budget for fiscal year 2021 has been advertised for tonight's meeting. The village council discussed the proposed budget at 4 public meetings in November and will take public comment tonight. The public hearing on the proposed budget is now open. The first order of business is we'll turn this over to Tim to provide some brief overview comments summarizing the work of the last month. And what happened to Tim? There he is.
He's getting promoted.
I thought he's already the director.
Yeah. Invited to the meeting.
Ah,
Hi.
Hi, Tim.
Per the Budget Act, which the village functions, the annual budget must be adopted before commencement of the fiscal year. As part of that process, under section 8-2-9 of the Illinois Municipal Code, we are to hold a public hearing on the proposed budget. We published a notice of tonight's hearing at the November 19th issue of the Winnetka Talk, and a detailed copy of the budget has been posted online and is available for viewing at the library as well. The Village Council held public review meetings on the budget on November 5th, November 10th, November 17th, and November 19th. And as a result of conversations held during budget review and the subsequent stormwater financing discussion on November 23rd, the following change was made to the annual budget. The motor fuel tax fund's 5-year capital improvement plan has been updated to reflect a transfer of $2.8 million from the MFT fund to the stormwater fund in 2024 and 2025. And additionally, $803,172 in Rebuild Illinois funds in the motor fuel tax fund will be allocated to the stormwater fund from 2021 to 2023. The updated motor fuel tax 5-year capital plan is reflected on page 49 of the agenda packet. So with that, I just wanted to hit on a few key facts in regards to tonight's budget as a whole. First and foremost, the 2021 budget is balanced, and for the 7th year in a row, there is no property tax increase proposed. All in, the budget totals $78,280,081, which represents an operating increase of 0.3%. The capital portion of the budget totals $17.8 million and provides funding for major capital initiatives, including $2.4 million in roadway, sidewalk, and bridge improvements, $6.2 million in stormwater infrastructure, $1.9 million towards revitalization of the business districts, and $550,000 in sanitary sewer infrastructure, $2.9 million in the electric utility infrastructure, $3 million improvements to the drinking water system, including water main replacement, and finally $825,000 in vehicles, equipment replacement, and investment in public facilities. The budget is balanced and the operating expenditures are fully funded by operating revenues, and the operating budget does not rely on the use of fund balance or other one-time revenue sources to fund operating expenses. So there are utility rate increases built into the budget, which will be discussed further when we get to the utility rate resolutions.
Is that all, Tim?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Are there, Kristen, I'm just going to check again. Is there anybody out there in the audience that would like to weigh in on this?
No members of the public present.
Okay. In that event, we will go ahead and close. I'm getting an echo from somewhere. Maybe Tim, you could mute. Yeah, I think it's the council chambers. All right, so I will declare the public hearing is now closed, and we can go on for comments from Village Council about the 2021 budget or rate resolutions. Would anybody like to comment on the budget or the rate resolutions? Bob?
Just a request, Tim, at your convenience. I mean, given that the motor fuel tax was adjusted, and now that we have more concrete numbers around stormwater, would it be possible to update the detailed capital, the 5-year capital plan to reflect those new numbers?
The entire budget document will be fully updated for final approval on December 15th.
So we'll get that 4-page. Okay,
But yeah, I can give you that 4-page summary spreadsheet as well.
perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'd just like to say in general that, again, the budget reflects some really hard thinking by the administration and all the department heads in terms of what's the responsible thing to do for our taxpayers, while also trying to keep a really solid rebuild Winnetka plan going in terms of the infrastructure. So, and then the adjustments that had to be made in light of COVID. So it was a challenging year, but once again, thank you guys for really meeting the challenge head on, and hopefully residents appreciate how hard you all work to make it all work for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Jump in, everybody. Andy?
Yeah, I just ditto what Penny said. Thank you. Great work, everybody. And hopefully people will be paying attention that the cost of living in Winnetka is not spiraling out of control. We're keeping the line on expense, and I think that's one more thing that makes us a very attractive town for people looking to move to the North Shore. And I do think it sets us apart.
Yeah, I agree with Penny and Andy. And it's really important to know that we've maintained a budget. We adjusted a budget according to COVID issues we come across. And we're able to have now a future plan of the major stormwater project as part of our budget. So it's very cool that we're able to do all that. Thanks to the staff.
It was, thanks, John. It was interesting to see on item number 2 that you guys answered my question about levy being held flat for 7 years in a row, and a comparison to the village's taxes versus our neighbors. So that's actually helpful. The average increase, we're at 6%. The average increase from 6 neighboring communities was up 28%. Is that right? Those are all accurate, huh? That's pretty, I mean, those are things that we should talk about as a village and more, and the fiscal responsibility, and hopefully that'll pass on to, the other elements of government here. And I think they will be, the residents, if they know this, which they should know this, or it's I think our duty to help them know this. It's very important. I think this speaks very well of the village, the council, and the workers. So
Great.
Good job.
Thanks, Rob. Did we lose Jack?
Trustee Coladarchi, I'm just sent an email that his computer crashed. He's restarting. He'll be back momentarily. So please proceed.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead. First of all, I definitely want to give a big round of appreciation to all staff, department heads and their assistance on this, because it's easy for us to sit there and say, okay, guys, we want another budget after 6 years of not raising the levy. we want you to do it again. Especially while we're trying to do, important revitalization projects and a significant stormwater project at the same time, and keep the streets in good shape and have more events in the village and, create all sorts of new communication platforms so we can better interact with the community and keep them up to date. An amazing task under any circumstances. I am really, Rob, I really didn't think you were going to be able to pull it off this year. And I know we took advantage of some savings that we found in buckets here and there, but at the same time, that's what good professional managers do, is they find a way to make it work. And you've done that. And I'm really happy that I've been able to sit here for 3 years in a row and chant the same song. There is one thing, and hopefully some people will watch this after the meeting, but Rob, you hit on it, but I want to hit on it a little bit harder. From the years 2013 through 2019, that's 7 fiscal years, Village of Winnetka, 0%, I believe. Yes. Village of Kenilworth, 12% increase. Village of Glenview, 13% increase. Village of Glencoe, 18% increase. Village of Wilmette, 20% increase. Village of Northfield, 33% increase. And the Village of Northbrook, 67% increase in the levy. When you realize what's going on around us and still being able to hold the line on this, it is an amazing feat. And I'm really proud of the folks that put the hard work in to make this happen. So thanks again.
Thank you. Want to thank the department heads and especially Tim for pulling it together. It was a challenging year, but I think we kind of balanced it out across all the funds to keep us on track. And I certainly appreciate the department heads' commitment to towing the line.
There's something else I'd like to throw out there, and I'm not incriminating anybody or disparaging anybody, but when I first served as a trustee, and Penny, you might have had this experience too. It was an automatic. What I was taught as a freshman trustee is the budget's fine as long as we don't exceed the home rule limits. Because that's what the commitment was back then, and sure enough, that's about what the budget increased every year was based on the home rule limits. Gene, I think, was the brave one who actually asked to make it so and start asking the hard questions. And thank goodness he did ask those hard questions, because I think it sends a message to everybody just how efficient and what a great place this is on many levels. And the fact is that we're still maintaining a AAA bond rating with no reservations, which is really important. So, hey, Jack, did you want to weigh in on this before we move ahead and vote? I can't read lips.
Sorry, no, my computer's gone to hell. I'm just trying to find a way to get it to work. So no, I don't want to weigh in. I'm fine.
Okay. Stay here for the vote, though.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, good.
Hey, Chris, to that point, I'm glad you walked through the different villages. Is there any reason why we would not be communicating this to the village, including what our neighbors are doing?
We should be putting it up on a billboard on Chestnut and Elm Street.
Good.
Yeah,
Definitely. This is a big accomplishment for any community. And
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
The only question that I would have, and just as a further point of information, is the 6% for us indicates the new growth. I'm just curious in terms of what percentage for the other villages would be new growth as well. And it's an interesting data point, at least for us, in terms of then how do we figure out, how to communicate. So I would just love to have that additional piece of information in the chart.
Yeah. For the home rule communities, that might be a little tougher to pull out because if they don't break it out, but we'll take a look, see what we can
Yeah, that'd be great, because that would just be sort of a little more apples to apples where, you know,
Yep.
the 6% represents new growth. So that's great. Thank you. But that's really helpful information. And that's what we need to be continuing to watch, I think, just because, you know, we know what we want to do, but it's also helpful to know, you know, the market and.
do. Right.
that's it.
Well,
We're working on the budget message, so we'll be sure to incorporate this aspect into the overall message.
I think there was part B to this too, guys, that was, what are the other taxing, but what is the Park District and the schools? How have they increased over the same 7-year period?
Yeah, that's also included in the agenda packet. District 36 was 15%.
And I missed that. Okay.
The Winnetka Park District was
Oh, yeah.
18%, and New Trier was 21%.
Wow.
No, and it's a little difficult with, particularly with the schools, because they have their budgets go very bumpily. But I think it's important for residents to understand how hard we've worked to keep our you know, to keep our costs under control, which doesn't necessarily mean the other ones are out of control, but it's.
No, Penny, but I agree. It's also about making hard choices. It's
Oh,
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But I mean, for example, with New Trier, you know, they went through a bond issue, you know, I mean, so there are different factors that weigh in terms of how the different
Agreed.
districts can finance themselves. So I don't want us to inadvertently send a negative message about a different taxing body, but yeah.
And the back of the hand math on that for our sister districts, our sister taxing bodies, is that it's basically inflation that they're up. I mean, you're talking 6 or 7 years at, you know, 2.5% or so compounded. You know, I'm not arguing on their behalf or anything like that, but it's not 67% Northbrook or something like that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, we are to do this at less than inflation. Now, admittedly, we've had some fee increases on the side and so on. So, I mean, just in fairness, but
True.
to do this and do the projects that we're talking about and have the service levels that we still have it's kind of remarkable over a 7-year period, I think.
Yep.
So, you know, we could slice and dice it any number of ways, but the message is very positive.
Maybe we don't want to publicize it too much because I don't want the other towns trying to steal Rob.
I don't think that's a problem.
Act like that. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen because I saw what Rob gets paid if there's a film in Winnetka. Did anyone see that?
Oh, man,
If
I was
there's a
back, I was
film
on the
in
board when
Winnetka,
we did that.
Well, with
Holy
Big
cow.
Cheese, the big cheese gets the big bucks.
Well, or if we get some more presidents coming to visit for fundraisers.
Well, I hope you all went through those fees that are on those 7 or 8 pages. They're fascinating. Yeah.
All right. We're getting,
Enough shenanigans.
okay.
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
just one thing on these resolutions, these 3 resolutions, because we're going to be voting on them finally at the next meeting, these 3 resolutions require only a voice vote tonight. I'll save you a little time.
Okay,
Excellent.
even though we're in the virtual world of,
Yeah, because there is no 2 reading requirement for our resolution. So this is really ceremonial, the first vote. So I have no problem if you want to do a voice vote,
awesome, we will do that then.
just on the resolutions.
Yeah, and also a hand up just so that Rob can keep an eye on it. So, all right, we'll move forward then. The first item is resolution number R77 2020, the village public, the village budget, public hearing and resolution introduction. May I have a motion to introduce resolution number R77 2020?
So moved.
Second?
Voice vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 2, resolution number R78 2020, utility rates and fees reduction. May I have a motion to introduce
So
resolution
moved?
Second.
R78 2020? Do it again, Penny.
So moved.
Second.
Voice vote in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Let's see, we got one more, I believe. Resolution number R 2020, general fees. May I have a motion to introduce resolution number R 2020?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Roll, I'm sorry, voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item B, property tax levy and abatement ordinances. This next set of ordinances sets the village's 2020 property tax levy and also abates taxes on the Series 2014 general obligation bonds and abates taxes on the Series 2020 general obligation refunding bonds. Tim is here to review briefly.
Okay, so in total, the property tax levy is $15,161,834. A typical homeowner will see property taxes paid to the village remain unchanged. Again, this is for the 7th year in a row. In staying with consistent prior years, new development is incorporated into the levy and is estimated at $114,361 or 0.76%. The property tax is a major funding source for the village's general fund and accounts for a little over 50% of the revenue in this fund. And the general fund is the village's main operating fund and is primary funding source for major village services, including the police department, fire, maintenance of village streets, snow plowing, economic development, etc. The property tax also funds both the village's public safety pension funds, and the tax levy allocated for these funds was prepared based on actuarial assumptions utilizing a conservative 6.25% assumed investment rate of return and adhering to the state's legislative statute of being 90% funded by 2040. It should also be noted that, as we said earlier, the village, while not obligated, has maintained tax levies since 2004 that have been less than the state tax cap laws. But this year's tax levy, a total of $2.4 million under the tax cap restrictions, and cumulatively since 2004, we have levied $10.7 million less than what the tax cap would otherwise allow if we were a non-home rule community. The tax levy also includes a levy for Special Service Area 3. This levy was used to make roadway improvements to Trap Lane and is only paid by residents who reside within the limits of the special service area. And this is the last year of that special service area tax levy. And finally, there's 2 abatement ordinances, one for the 2020 bond issuance and one for the 2014 bond issuance. And what these abatement ordinances do is abate taxes that would otherwise be levied in absence of other revenue being used to support the annual debt service on these bond issuances. So as you know, the 2020 refunded the 2013 and the 2014 bond issuances, but there's this 1 year kind of hangover for the 2014 bond issuance that we technically have to do an abatement ordinance this year, but this will be the last year we would need to do an abatement ordinance for that issuance.
Okay, thank you, Tim. We all clear on this next set of ordinances and all these abatements? We all good with that? Okay. Then let's roll.
Village meeting.
Okay. Lost my place. Just one second here. Okay, here we go. Ordinance number M17, 2020, tax levy. This is up for introduction. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number M17, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
This will be a roll call vote.
Trustee Caladarchi,
Yes.
trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Dearborn,
Yes.
trustee Lampier,
Yes.
trustee Apatow.
Yes.
That motion carries. All right, item 2, ordinance number M18, 2020 tax levy for special service area number 3. This is up for introduction. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number M18, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Trustee Dearborn,
Yes.
trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Apatow,
Yes.
trustee Lampier,
Yes.
trustee Caladarchi.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Something happened?
Couldn't hear you for a second, but that was maybe just me.
I just got, no, it isn't you. I just got that note on my screen that says that my internet connection is unstable, so a lot of instability here. All right, we'll try it again. Ordinance number M2020 tax abatement for general obligation bonds, series 2014. This is up for introduction. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number M2020?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Gallarchi,
Yes.
trustee Apatow,
Yes.
trustee Dearborn,
Yes?
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Lampier.
Yes.
That motion carries.
President Rents, did you, I don't think you called M19,
I could have missed it. Like,
ordinance M19?
oh, the tax abatement?
Yes,
Okay, I'll do that then.
thank you.
The next item is ordinance number M192020, tax abatement for the general obligation refunding bonds, series 2020. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number M192020?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Dearborn,
Yes?
trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Gallarchi,
Yes.
trustee Lampier,
Yes.
trustee Apatow.
Yep. Yes.
Motion carries, and thank you for tolerating my dyslexia. Okay. Old business, there is none. New business, there's none. Appointments, there are none. However, there will be some upcoming, maybe at the next meeting or the meeting after that. Louise Holland has stepped down as chair of the LPC. And I'll be coming to you with some potential assignments for that commission for sure. I want to keep them as cohesive as I possibly can, especially when we resume discussions on the comp plan. So that'll be coming up. If you have any thoughts on that, feel free to give me a call.
Yeah, I do, Chris. I have a couple. I have one major one coming up right now. That's hearing on Monday, right next door to us. The beautiful home on Ardsley and Westmore is they're trying to take it down. So it's the Bundy house, so it's not good. So
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
it's unbelievable. Their intention was that they said they were buying it to keep it, and it was priced that way. So not good. So there's a ton of opposition to this one.
Okay, well, certainly that's one of the reasons why it's important to have a solid commission there too. So regretfully, there's not a lot they can do at this point, but we'll have that conversation another day.
Yep.
All right, item number 12, closed session. May I have a motion to go into closed session to discuss security procedures and collective bargaining agreement pursuant to sections C8, 2C2, 2C2 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. God, this is horrible tonight. And to adjourn the open meeting automatically and immediately upon the conclusion of the closed session without the conduct of further business or comments. I was asking for a motion at the beginning of this.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Apatow,
Yes.
trustee Kripe,
Yes.
trustee Swerk,
Yes.
trustee Dearborn,
Yes?
trustee Lampier,
Yes.
trustee Gallarchi.
Yes.
Great. Okay, we all disconnect and then reconnect with the other link.